Welcome to Study Life. In today's section of mechanical properties of fluids, we're going to talk about Pascal's law. What is Pascal's law? So if I take a container of liquid, if I take a container that is filled with liquid or any fluid as such, we understand that the pressure applied by the fluid at every point on the container is same. At every single point on the container is same. If it is an enclosed container, it is always going to be same, provided we consider that there is no gravity acting and also there is no external forces acting on the system. That is Pascal's law. Pascal's law is very simple. It just says if this is a pipe and let's say fluid is getting through it, the pressure that the fluid applies over here and everywhere is always the same. The pressure applied in the insides of a container when there is no external forces there, it is always the same. It is always the same. That is very simple and it's very clear about Pascal's law. Now let's focus on how to prove this. I said it, you heard it, very simple, very nice. But you always need a proof to understand whether this concept that this person, what this is saying, is it true or not. Let's see this. Let's consider a container that is filled with some amount of liquid. Let me draw this liquid over here. It's completely filled with liquid. Assuming that there are no external forces acting on the system and there is no gravity working on it. Let me now consider a prism, a right-angled prism system, a right-angled prism. Okay. So let me just assume that there's a tiny right angle over here. Let's name it as A, B, C. And since it's a prism, it has to be a double layered story, right? Let me just name the other one as D, E, F. And it is all a right angle thing. It is all a right angle thing. I'll consider the primary triangle ABC. I'll consider the primary triangle ABC and I'll write this angle ACB as theta. I've considered two things. I've considered triangle ABC and triangle DEF forming the boundaries of a right angled prism. Forming the boundaries of a right angled prism. Very simple and it's very easy. Please focus with me. I also said that there is an angle theta. There's an angle theta, ACB. There's one more angle theta, DEF, right? So angle ACB is same as angle DEF and that is equal to theta. It is equal to theta. Now let's calculate sine theta. Let's calculate sine theta. What is sine theta? Let's see from here. Sine theta from here is basically something that is happening with AB divided by AC. What is cos theta? Something that is working with BC divided by something that works with AC. Let's assume that the force acting on the edge of AB, since it's opposite to C, I'll write it as FC. The force acting on BC, since it is opposite to A, I'll write it as FA. And the force acting on AC, since it is opposite to B, I'll call it as FB. Okay. Now let's drive sine theta from here. Sine theta from here is FC divided by FB. What it is? FC divided by FB. So how do you write the value of FC? FC is always equal to FB times of sine theta. Mark this as equation number 1. Mark this as equation number 1. Now it is time we compute cos theta. It is time we compute cos theta. Cos theta. What is cos theta? Let's see. If this is my theta, cos theta is FA divided by FB. So it's FA divided by FB. Very good. Now let's find out the value of FA. What is FA? FB times cos theta. Mark this as equation number 2. Assuming that the area across AB is written as AC. The area across FA is written as AA. The area across FB is expressed as AB. So don't you think I can just write it down as AC is equal to AB sine theta? Very similar to what we have done here. AA as equal to AB cos theta, and mark this as equation number 3. From all the observation that I have written, I've written something about FC, FA, AC, AA. And there's always FB and AB getting involved. If I just divide all of them, if I divide FC by AC or FA by AA, the answers are same. If I divide FC by AC and if I divide FA by AA, the answer turns out as FB upon AB. And this is the answer that goes for this as well as this. And hence, now we understand that this force acting per unit area on C, A and B is same. What is force acting per unit area? Is it not pressure? It is. So technically PC, the pressure at point C is equal to the pressure at point A is equal to the pressure at point B. This is our answer. This happens to be our answer. Where Pascal's law is completely proven. Pascal's law always said that the pressure acting is always the same in all directions and in all conditions. That means if I count this container, the pressure over here, here or anywhere inside the liquid is always the same. It is always the same. Take a randomly shape. Take a random shape. Something that has got a uniform area. Okay. So if this is the pipe that is working and if I'm having some fluid inside it, if I'm having some fluid flow inside it, let me just draw this fluid. This is the direction of the fluid, let's say. Okay. I understand that the pressure acting at this point and this point is same. The pressure is always same. If this is PA, if this is PB, if this is PC, PA will be equal to PB will be equal to PC. That is how Pascal's law works. This is how Pascal's law works. We can use Pascal's law in our everyday life. I'll just talk about a very simple example that will include your washing machine. If you talk about a washing machine, water from your pipe, the water from the in-source of your plumbing pipe moves down through the big pipe and enters into the washing machine. Though the washing machine is inclined at different angles, the pipe is not always direct and it's always not in a straight line. The pipe is sometimes flowing downwards and moving upwards. It's crawling upwards, but the pressure inside is always same. The gravity there is working, but it's not that as strong as the pressure in the fluid inside the pipe. Correct? That is how we use Pascal's law in every single day of our life. Let's not even talk about washing machine. A water hose that you use to plant water in your plant, that is used to water plants in your gardens, right? The water hose that you use has same pressure every case. Even there are like very little plants over here, even there is a big bunch of plants over there, the water pressure is always the same. The length of the pipe doesn't matter here. This is where Pascal's law works. So I suppose you have now understood the law and the proof for it and the application of Pascal's law to your everyday life. With that in mind, I'd love to conclude this session. I hope you have understood it. We've got a lot many topics and fluids and all of them are coming one after the other. Stay tuned with Study Life and keep learning with me. Thank you.